Aloha from Bali. This is Dr. Bear coming to you, and I want to talk to you today about the sacredicity of life and what it's like to live in a culture where everything is sacred. As you can see here, all the statues represent something that says to us that life is a little bit more than the mundane. And I want to take you on a journey today of the sacred and show you what it's like in this beautiful paradise that they call the Monkey Sanctuary. Join me. So one of the things I love most about this place is that they add the sacred into every part of their lives. If you look behind me, you'll see an elaborate temple structure. Now this is not just indicative of sacred places, but every home actually has a temple, and every person actually honors that temple with sacred incense and sacred offerings on a daily basis. Now what would it mean for us as Westerners if we were to take that same concept and apply it to our everyday lives? Maybe we could begin to see life as a living prayer, as a living offering to the great source. In many cultures, you'll see this same symbology, the rainbow serpent, the Mayans call it. But it's just basically that serpentine energy, also known as the Kundalini. What does it represent? It represents our sacred connection to the divine and our ability to tap into the magic, the mystery of transmutation. So whenever you see the dragon again, remember, it's about transmutation. One of the most important things to remember is that our destiny is directly tied to the trees. Now, the monkeys know this. That's why they call the trees their home. If you think about it, if you live in a tree house, you're feeling that lightning rod of the earth that sort of connects you to the ground, to the sky itself. Now, trees exhale what we inhale, and we exhale what they inhale, which tells us very clearly that as go the trees, so goes humanity. As you can see here in Bali, even the monkeys are buried the way humans are buried. And think about the word humanity. What does that word really mean? If you go back to the ancient Latin, humanitas, it means those who bury themselves in the earth. Now, if we're here in a sacred place where we're honoring our ancestors, doesn't it make sense that they too would deserve the same rights that we do? So when we think about families, we think about our mothers, we think about their children, we think about fathers and the way that they love each other. If you look behind me, you'll see that there's very little difference between us and these beautiful ancestors of ours. They too have such a tenderness, such an affection for each other, constantly grooming one another as if to say, let me show you that I love you, let me show you that I care. And in our anthropomorphic views of the world, we tend to forget that they are people too, that they have personalities, they have names, perhaps in their own language, they have a whole life unto themselves. And what we want to do is remind the world today that we are all a part of the same great family, O Mitakuyasin, which means all our relatives, all our relations. And these are among the first and most primal of our relatives. What have we forgotten that these creatures still remember? Perhaps it's nothing less than how to survive in nature, how to live in community in a powerful and profound way, and how to be at one with the environment around us. I think that that's something that we can all take away from these beautiful, regal animals. So the thing I want to really leave you with today is that life is sacred. Just as water is sacred, just as breath is sacred, the trees, us, everything around us grows from the same sacred soil, the translucentness that is existence itself. So as you go through your day today, remember to stop and say to the universe, I honor you and thank you for this beautiful existence that you allowed me to coexist with all these other grand creatures that we call relatives.